All right, Mo, your Bearcats are in the dumper.
You sound really happy about that. Yeah, the loss on Saturday night against Rutgers was frustrating. Here's what comes to mind when I watch this basketball team right now. And look, a couple of things. It's a 3-game losing streak. They were bound to run into some issues. They're a little too reliant on the outside shot. They don't have a big presence inside besides Yancey Gates, and we knew that, and even Yancey's limited. And it was, roughly this time last year where they turned it on and went on a streak to the postseason. But when I watched him on Saturday night, I thought of that movie Awakenings with Robert De Niro and Robin Williams, where Robin Williams is this doctor who kind of comes up with this cure for this affliction that leaves these people in this home basically catatonic, almost comatose. And Robin Williams brings them back to life. And these people all of a sudden are vibrant, and these people all of a sudden are useful. And they can talk, and they can communicate, and they can do things, and they're living lives. They're awakened. But after a short period of time, it starts to wear off, and soon they're back to being vegetables again. And the movie was made in the 80s and whatever. But when I watched that team on Saturday night, I thought of that movie because it was like the Bearcats were kind of comatose for weeks, were injected with something, came alive, and now they're kind of back to the way they were. And it's a small sample size, and it's one game, and they've got a week off, which I think is going to help. And I do think this team's going to figure out a way to get to the NCAA tournament. I really do. But when I watched them on Saturday night, it wasn't that they lost. It was that they looked the way they used to. Offensively, just not cohesive. There were guys not making outside shots, and there were guys that had bad games, but there's nobody on the bench to make up for their lack of production. It was tough to watch them offensively. Now this team has thrived off forcing turnovers and scoring off them. They didn't do that. They've done a really good job of taking care of the basketball. They didn't do that on Saturday. But the thing that was most troubling to me really wasn't that they lost. This is a flawed basketball team, and we knew that even when the going was good. But it's the fact that they went back to looking the way they did, really before the shootout. If that's the case, and if it's the case long term, this team's going to have a hard time reaching its goals, and it's going to have a hard time getting to the NCAA tournament. So I'd like to think that it's a brief bump in the road, but as I think back to the game on Saturday night, I can't help but think about the way this team looked in November and December and come to the conclusion that the similarities are a little too eerie and a little too scary. Email me, tell me what you think, mo@espn1530.com. Tweet me at moegger1530, and have a nice night.